Now, we're starting off the show today with news that Harry and Meghan will stop using their HRH titles and repay the taxpayers' millions spent on renovating their Berkshire home, Frogmore Cottage. This was the outcome announced by Buckingham Palace as the Queen released her own statement saying how proud she is of Meghan for fitting into the family and how she recognises the challenges the couple have experienced as a result of intense scrutiny. Last night, Harry added this at a charity event.
Once Meghan and I were married, we were excited, we were hopeful, and we were here to serve. For those reasons, it brings me great sadness that it has come to this. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option.
Right. So he says there was no other option. Jane, what do you think of this latest development?
Well, they've made the choice. So I don't really know, because he said we were here to serve, but they weren't, because they wanted to sort of half serve. And I think that's an impossible situation for the monarchy, if you look at it that way. The monarchy is the institution and it gets passed on, you know, forever who's on the throne. And I think the Queen has acted really swiftly and effectively. But quite interesting, so the HRH, they've basically said we won't use the title.
Yes.
But they've still got it. So it's dormant,
yes,
which I think is kind of the most interesting thing, because to me that says that the Queen is probably thinking that that's me leaving the door open. Rather than take it away, it's like, OK, if it doesn't work out and you end up getting divorced or whatever, Harry can come back, just pick up where he left off with that title. And if they get divorced, Meghan would lose the HRH title. So maybe there's a bit of that in there. So I think the Queen's been amazing. I think she's recognised that they're struggling, has given them the opportunity to go and do what they want. But for me, it's like the public funding was the issue. That's now not going to happen, apart from the security. They're being a bit vague on the security. So Meghan turned up at the airport in Canada to meet her friend. There were 2 Range Rovers, one behind her with security people in. It's like, who's paying for that?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Canada? Is it going to be us? I think that's still got to be ironed out. But when he says, I want a more peaceful life, I get it. And if they were going to go and live on a
desert island somewhere,
a lodge in the middle of a safari lodge in the middle of Africa, I'd get that.
I get it.
But they're actually swapping royal life for celebrity life. And American paparazzi make the paparazzi in Britain look really tame.
Internationally,
so I think they've got a big shock coming.
Colleen, obviously, he said that he's doing this for his family's security and happiness. He's spoken really openly about his mental health before. Do you think that this will finally make them happy?
Well, I don't know if it'll finally make them happy, but I feel that they feel that it will. And I feel they think they want to take a step back. You know, he didn't ask to be born into royalty. And like I've said before, it's very unlikely that he's ever going to go up the ladder any further than he is already. And I think, you know, I feel just sorry for them. I know people are saying, well, you know, they should stay here and, you know, and she seems to get a lot of stick. You know, she knew what she was marrying. This might be Harry, mainly. Everyone seems to keep blaming Meghan. It might be Harry saying, I don't want this anymore. I want a normal life with my child. And I think we should be, you know, mind our own business and let them get on with it. Thank you, madam.
How would you feel about continuing to pay?
We're not, though, are we? They've already said
Why don't about the security?
Well, I think they need security. Whatever you say, they need security.
And how do you feel about the commercial trademarking of Sussex Royal?
Well, you're asking me a very intelligent question.
But very early on a Monday.
I'm going to have a sip of my drink. Sarah, I know what you're talking about and go, I agree.
You've got very strong views, Sarah, on the fact that racism has been used in the media, and many people have said that this is the actual reason why Harry and Meghan have decided to move overseas, to step back, because of the abuse that Meghan has suffered.
Well, do you know, how long have they been married?
2 years?
2 years.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, you know.
19 months, 20 months.
Look, I'm of that generation of that, you know, sometimes you've got to give something a good shot. You've got to stick it out, OK? And whatever people say, yeah, but that's an easy option out, the royal family is a safe institution, you know, and sometimes I was really hopeful for Meghan. You know, I remember on this show when she went in, and I was like, yeah, brown girl in the red, like as a real oh my goodness, I was called a racist for calling, like, we don't see her colour, how dare you mention her colour? I'm like, oh my goodness, no, I'm just saying this is brilliant because it's diversity, it's opening up the royal family, I can relate to somebody mixed race, I get it. And I just think, you know, I just feel like 2 years is not long enough. Sometimes you can change the world opinion from being on the inside, but you've got to give it a chance. You've got to give it a go. You've got to see how things work out. And that's why I feel disappointed at that. And I also will say this, and I am very passionate about this. I was born in this country. I've lived through the 70s. I've lived through the 80s. I've lived through the 90s. In Britain, we are in a much better place, more than the rest of the world, when it comes to race relations. You cannot just stir up all this race stuff, right? And then just go. You didn't. For me, Harry and Meghan, you come out and you say it's because of racism we're leaving, or you come out and you say we didn't want to do the job. But do not leave people divided in this country, because I don't think it's because of racism. I'm sorry, I don't.
It's interesting because it's put the spotlight on Britain in not a good light.
Yeah.
There are people internationally saying that Britain is known as a racist country, a racist place to live, and the fact that it's even giving out royalty.
Where is
there are racist elements in every single community in Britain. This is not just about white on black, OK? I can tell you, I come from the Asian community. The Asian community has racist elements. The black community has racist elements. So when we talk about racism, we can't just signal out people on colour. This is a problem within all communities, and nobody talks about that, OK? And it's just unfair for people. I have got loads of friends that are not black or not Asian, and they've helped me through where sometimes my community couldn't help me through. So I respect their decision, do whatever you like, but do not make this country divided when you leave, because that's unfair.
That's my main problem with it. I really don't like that at all, because I don't agree with it. And I also think if you look at Camilla Parker Bowles, when she first got together with Prince Charles, she got terrible criticism. That wasn't racist, was it? You know, it's just
comes
being
with the territory.
criticising somebody who is from an ethnic minority is not necessarily racist. It's just valid criticism.
Can I just quickly...
We're running out. We're out of time now, but I'm sure we're going to talk about this.
I'd like to make
obviously.
the point on that, what Jane said.
OK. Well,
quickly, it's just that, you know, because of racism and people so scared of saying it, that's why we've got problems with grooming gangs of Asian culture, because people are too scared. We cannot be scared to call out things that we've got to call out.
OK.
Have a cup of tea.
Have a cup of tea. It's so early on a Monday to be getting so upset, Sarah.